Oh, sure. Pick the cylinder that's all the way up. So what I'm doing here is pulling some plugs out so I can read them and see just how this engine's been running. So I got all four out on this side, so this is 2, 4, 6, and 8. And when you look at them, they look like they're in pretty good shape. Now that, granted, they don't have a whole lot of miles on them. I did a tune-up maybe 500 miles ago, but I wanted to see how the burn was going on these plugs, and it seems to be fairly good. That might be just a little on the lean side. I might want to richen up the carburetor just a bit, but so far so good. I have the next step, and that is to put a bore scope down there so that we can see what those cylinders look like and see what the cylinder walls look like. I was told that this engine was rebuilt recently, but I had no way of knowing that since the guy didn't have receipts and he couldn't tell me who rebuilt it. So the best way to do a check on that is to put a bore scope down there and look for the cross hatching, see what kind of shape the cylinder's in. So if this engine really was rebuilt based on what the previous owner said, I should be seeing pretty clean piston heads, good cross hatching on the cylinder walls, no evidence of galling, things like that. Based on what I'm seeing, it looks like it's in really good shape. So it does look like this thing was rebuilt. Now the next step I want to do is a little tuning on the carburetor. I'll put a vacuum on the manifold and we'll check it out. So right now I'm running between 16 and 17 on the vacuum. So in order to make sure that the carb is running right, I'm just going to adjust the needle valves either a little richer or maybe a little leaner, and I'll see if I can make that vacuum go up a little. If I can, great. If it starts to go down, well, then we'll put it back to where it was. Seems to be pretty happy right where it's at. So for those of you who are wondering where I was pulling the vacuum, you see that it's coming out of the manifold through this hose, and I pulled that off of the manifold canister here, and I'm getting the vacuum essentially straight from the manifold that way. The reason this canister is there is because this engine has a mild cam. When it was rebuilt, it was cammed up a little bit. And whenever you do that, it decreases the amount of vacuum that you get out of the manifold. So in order to alleviate that problem and provide your power brakes with enough vacuum for the booster, you put a little vacuum canister in there that'll store up the vacuum and provide the amount that the booster needs in order to work properly. So we're just going to take this back off and get this put back onto the vacuum canister, and we'll be good to go. See, I just use a little brass piece here in order to make that happen. I might hit that with just a little bit of mineral oil. Make that hose go on a little easier. I just threw a little bit of PB Blaster on there just to make it a little easier to get this hose back on. And just shove her back on there and get it tightened down. It should be fine. That looks good. That's fine right there. Okay, that takes care of that. We'll see you on the next video.